Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, for a big news roundup. We have some huge players on the agenda today, some really big transfer topics, and in today's video we are going to be discussing the likes of Bernardo Silva, Raphinha and Joao Felix. They're all involved and at the very heart of it, so I hope you're going to enjoy today's roundup, guys. Sit back, relax, you know the drill, and come on, let's do this. Because there have been quite a few official announcements today from the club, and there does appear to be one more exciting one on the way. It's an imminent signing, and if you do want to know more, guys, about the incoming Tudor Mendel-Edo, it's a free transfer there from Chelsea, 18 years old, very, very talented, and I have done a video over on More Talk FCB today. So that video right there is waiting for you after this one. I'm really, really excited about his arrival, which brings us on then to a man who also has Chelsea connections. It's now 100% done and officially confirmed today. Welcome back to FC Barcelona, Oriol Romeu. He is signed there on a 3-year deal until 2026 on what's expected to be a low salary there for Romeu, and his release clause stands at 400 million euros. And I think it's quite interesting today to hear a few reports coming out on the transfer fee. Many people are suggesting it may be even less than what was originally reported, and it was already quite a low fee, but we're hearing today it might be only 3.4 million euros there for the transfer of Oriol Romeu, plus the loan of Pablo Torre, who has now officially joined Girona, which seems like a very, very low-risk deal. And after he was officially announced this morning, Oriol Romeu wasting absolutely no time, he was straight into the first-team training session where he did receive the customary Barça welcome from his new teammates before he now gets ready to head out on tour to the USA in pre-season. And speaking indeed about that tour, because Xavi officially announced today his squad that will travel to America this week. That includes their 32 names in total, so a big squad here going on tour in pre-season, and a few names there that stand out for sure. The likes of Julian Araujo, Dest, Longley, Kessie, they're all on the plane. They're all going there with Xavi, with it being said right now that Xavi didn't agree really with just leaving them behind. Even if they're not in his plans, which many of them are not there, he still doesn't feel they should be cut off from the rest of the team. Their departures aren't close enough right now to do that, so they are all travelling with the squad. There's plenty of young players in there too making the trip, and I really hope they have chances and priority really in this pre-season, especially Mikhail Faye. The young defender there, of course, only just signed this summer, but apparently he's already had a real impact in pre-season. Xavi has been really impressed with him. He's actually partnered him and tested him out there alongside Araujo. Imagine those two as your centre-back pairing. Really, really exciting stuff. So Mikhail Faye looking for more chances, I'm sure, in the USA. But one player who is not included and will not be on the plane for the tour, it's Nico Gonzalez, which tells us right now that his departure from the club is very, very close indeed. Xavi told him that his game time this season would be very, very limited. He's looking to go on loan there most likely to Porto, and that is a deal that is now on the verge of happening. However, on the topic of transfers, that now brings us on to talk about Joao Felix, because this is something, guys, that we have to talk about. I know a lot of you right now are wondering, what on earth is happening? What is going on there? After Felix shocked the footballing world last night with his quotes about Barca, it was completely unexpected, most of all, I would imagine, for Atletico Madrid, because the exclusive statements there from Joao Felix were given to Fabrizio Romano, where he said, "I would love to play for Barca." He said, "Barcelona has always been my first choice, and I would love to join Barca. If it happens, it would be a dream come true for me." And like I say, those are incredible words. We are talking about there a man who joined Atletico Madrid for a club record 126 million euros just to come out and say, "I love Barca, please take me to Barca." And I mean, you cannot question here his commitment in trying to force through this deal, can you? But is there any chance of it happening? The all-important question question here is, guys, is there any substance to this Joao Felix to Barca move? Is there any genuine interest in him from the club? Let's look into that, because even without Felix's words right now, it is no secret Barca have been admirers of him over the previous transfer windows. We have looked at him very closely, even inquired about him there with Atletico Madrid, either as a deal on his own or even part of, say, the Griezmann exit, for example, because Laporta has always been a really big fan of Joao Felix. So that's something there to bear in mind. What you would also have to say right now, it's also no secret that Atletico Madrid desperately want rid of him. They want Joao Felix to leave the club. His relationship with Diego Simeone, I think that's broken right now beyond repair, and Felix hasn't even been given a squad number yet ahead of the new season. You know, all of these things are happening at Atletico Madrid, and it's chaos regarding Felix right now, which actually makes them a bit desperate this summer. And I just think it's interesting right now that you add to that Felix's agent, it's George Mendes. Surprise, surprise. I swear we talk about Mendes every single day, and he is a man who has the power to help make things happen. And then you also add to that, Atletico Madrid have interest in some of our players. They're interested in Ferran Torres. They're interested in Franck Kessie. Is there any way right now that some of those players could be incorporated into some kind of deal for Felix? A swap deal? Certain loan deals? Who knows what could happen? But all of these things are being thrown around. But the one thing that I would say right now, the one thing that I would ask above everything else is, do we need Joao Felix this summer? Do we actually have a place for him in our team, and does he fit into Xavi's plans? And the reason that I would ask that about him right now is that even though he is immensely talented, he is such an exciting player at his best, at his peak. When he's in the right position, he can be unstoppable, but does that exist at Barca? Because for me, Joao Felix, he always looks like a support striker. He always looks like somebody who wants to operate in behind a number 9. Is that something you're going to see at Barca? I don't think he would suit being put out on the wing. I don't think either side there he would actually work. I don't think he could be any deeper in midfield. And I don't think he works as an out-and-out number 9 that you need to be at Barca. So I just think right now it is an interesting one. It's an interesting link. It's somebody that, of course, we're going to be drawn to. We're going to look into the possibilities. But I think the really telling thing is right now, if Xavi was offered Joao Felix, if Xavi was offered Bernardo Silva, and you said to him, right, you could only choose one of them, there's no doubt in his mind every single time he would choose Bernardo. He wants Bernardo Silva, and he feels as though Bernardo is what this team needs. Which brings us back to the original topic of Bernardo Silva. But this time, guys, just wait there. There's a different twist to it. Because yesterday we spoke on the channel about Bernardo. We know full well that he's desperate to join Barca. He would love to be here. It's his dream. And isn't it incredible, guys? Let's just say how many players want to play here. How many players at top clubs already still dream of playing for Barca. That is a really, really special feeling. But even despite all of that effort from Bernardo, even about the commitment that he's willing to make it happen, one fact remains. As we said yesterday, Barca would need a big sale. It has to happen. We need money coming in. We need to free up wages. We need a big exit from the club to get a deal like this done. So where's that going to come from? How is that going to happen? Well, could Raphinha be that player? Now, earlier on in the window, we spoke about Raphinha and Newcastle, big offers coming in for him. There's also been links there to Saudi clubs who may also be interested in Raphinha, and all of that kind of never really convinced me too much. But today, there's been a big exclusive from Santi Auna on the topic of Raphinha, because he says Raphinha is a top target for Manchester City. Given the fact here they're going to lose Riyad Mahrez, given the fact here they may lose Bernardo Silva, Man City want to sign Raphinha this summer. And so much so that they've already held talks with Deco. There have been talks there between City, between Barca, between the boards together about Raphinha, and Barca would be open to offers. And you all know where this is going right now, guys. We know exactly what's going to be asked from here. Is there any chance of a swap deal. Would Man City swap Bernardo Silva to get Raphinha the other way? Would Barca swap Raphinha to get Bernardo? Would you accept that swap deal, guys? Bernardo in and Raphinha out to go to Manchester City. Is that a deal that you would be happy to get behind? But just how far would you be willing to go for Bernardo Silva? Because let me give you an example here, because I would imagine due to FFP, it wouldn't be a straight swap deal. It wouldn't be a like-for-like swap deal. What would happen probably is that Man City would say, okay, let's imagine here, they'll pay 70 million for Raphinha, and Barca say, okay, we'll accept 70 million. What then if Man City say, well, okay, we want 100 million for Bernardo Silva? So that way then you're gaining 70 million in FFP, we can break up that Bernardo deal. So what I'm saying right now is, would you effectively pay Raphinha and money to sign Bernardo? And if so, how much would you add on to that deal? Would you sell Raphinha for 80 and sign Bernardo for 90? You know, would you do Raphinha plus 10, Raphinha plus 20? How far would you go to bring in Bernardo Silva? Or, you know, this is an option too, guys. Would you just keep Raphinha? Would you say, you know what, I'm not willing to sacrifice him to sign Bernardo Silva? So let me know all of those thoughts down below. These are all the things that are swirling around right now in the transfer market, and I'm really interested to hear your thoughts there on that City interest in Raphinha, on the potential signing of Bernardo Silva, and also those words as well. Please let me know what your reaction was to Joao Felix's words about Barca. I will see you soon indeed, guys, with all of the latest news, both here and over on MORETALKFCB. Thank you to all of you for the fantastic support. But until next time, as always, Visca, Hail Barca!